Saka, in my opinion, consistently since he's been in the league, producing. In my opinion, Saka doesn't even have like a bad patch of games that often.
Bro.
He might have had one since he started playing for Arsenal regularly. Yeah. Besides that, I think he's been firing consistently getting better.
How many appearances he's got for Arsenal?
Probably like 200 odd.
Bro, 255 or something crazy, bro.
It's crazy.
It's mad.
Yeah.
Gee, 255 at 23, 24.
That is probably why the injury happened.
No, but yeah, that guy's clear, man. He's that. The other two we're gonna mention.
I don't think it's that clear.
It's very clear.
Okay, you know what it is? I want to talk about it currently, yeah?
I want to apply context.
Obviously, we can talk about what might happen in the future. Yeah. Currently,
I'm talking currently.
Okay,
yeah, cool. Tuna, you got the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I want to hear your point. Then me and Ishan will kind of make a debate.
There's two things. Hands down, last season, Palmer's season, compared to Saka's was better.
Stats wise, yes.
Yeah, stats wise, performance wise.
No, performance wise, I would take.
I think if anything, it was on par. If anything, I'll give it to Palmer though. I
don't mind giving it to Palmer because he was new to the league. It was like a thing.
Of course, and it's not a thing where if I'm saying it, it's not a crazy shout to say.
Yeah.
I think this season, the first part of the season, he was sick.
I don't think he was though.
No, he was.
I just think he was putting up stats.
No, I don't. Bro,
how many goals has he got this season?
He's got 14 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah, and 4 came against Brighton.
Yeah, I know.
3 came against. Who did he score a hat trick against?
Tottenham, I think.
Brighton. It was Brighton. He scored 4.
Oh
yeah.
He scored 3.
Yeah. So So that's 7 of his goals.
So
he got 7 goals in the remaining 28 games, 26 games.
No, bro. I said the first part of the season.
Okay, but the Brighton.
Bro. I'm not arguing with you.
No, I agree with this point though. I think Palmer this season, the stats might look like he's been doing okay.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I just think this season he hasn't been scoring sporadically. It's just been 3 here, 4 there, a brace here. It's similar to what I look at Haaland with.
Before you let you carry on your point, I feel like Chelsea, like your team, because it lacks so much like creativity and like wow factor when you guys play, you rely heavily on him to get any goals or assists. And when he does contribute to your team, he's so pivotal to the way you have to score. Without him, you look shit. And so you hype him up more than he should be. Like the performances that he puts in don't actually reflect of how good of a footballer he should be.
I agree.
Like he goes missing so much in I'll talk about the big 6 games later, but even in the small games, it's not like he puts in a performance or like that. He has 1 or 2 good moments and then that's it.
I don't think so. I think the stuff you're saying is only relevant since December.
Okay.
And now wait, bro, just let me finish. You said you wouldn't give me the stage. I said two things. You're like, no. And you didn't even let me finish the point.
Alright, go on.
So I'm saying the first part of the season he was sick. He scored 4 goals, this, that, and the other. He was doing very well. But I feel when we played against Liverpool, the 1-1 draw.
At Anfield.
Yeah.
Anfield.
No, we haven't drawn. We haven't drawn this season.
No, when we lost 2-1, sorry.
Yeah.
That game, and then he moved him to the left, and that was the game when Curtis Jones, I believe, was following him the whole game.
Yeah.
Since then, Maresca has played him differently. I wouldn't be surprised if his goal contribution since then, I wouldn't be surprised if he's made more than 4. Then, from then to probably New Year's, he was playing very well. He was playing well, but the assists weren't coming. That coincided with Jackson and Madueke and all of these guys getting injured. My thing with Palmer is, and also to go to how Chelsea fans view him, he's probably the best player we've had offensively since Hazard. It says a lot, despite the trophies, the trophies we won. So, in the context of the grand scheme of things, that he could have started in any era of me being a Chelsea fan watching Chelsea week in, week out.
Yeah.
Like, easily. So, I feel for a lot of Chelsea fans, they struggle to see... They're too quick to... They're not going to say, he's this and that, because in terms of attacking players that got flair and this and that, we lack a bit. Yeah. The best one after him is probably... like Pulisic or something.
Also, he's the least of your problems too.
Yeah.
It's not like Chelsea fans will get onto him because why get onto your best player when there's other bums in your team?
Is he your best player this season? Cause I think
it's Caicedo.
I think he's third at push.
It's Caicedo.
Then Cucurella.
Yeah.
And then Baby Palmer.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's still performed like that. Since he made his debut against Brighton, so I'll probably say that Liverpool game. That body of work is like last season.
Oh no, talk about this season.
No. I'm just saying that body of work was good. I'm saying now it's a struggle. And recently his performances have fell off. Like,
don't say recently. Recently, like couple of weeks, bro.
Bro,
it's half the season.
It's not half the season.
It has.
Bro,
no.
Okay, like 10 games. 10 games.
It's a quarter of the season.
Yeah, 10 games.
A quarter of the season. The other quarter, he was doing all right, but it just wasn't coming off.
Yeah, I
And then
agree with you. There was a point where it felt like he was putting on the plate for some players.
Yeah, and
they
it
weren't
just
finishing.
wasn't coming off.
And that
his goal
wasn't-
creating numbers and stuff like that was still good.
That's not the qualm I have with him. The reason why I think it's very obvious why I think Saka's just clearly at the top is you see the last, let's call it 10 games, even if
Yeah.
it's 8 games of really, really bad patch of form I've seen
it's
from
bad,
Palmer.
it's
Let's
bad.
face it, it's not been great. He hasn't been performing in games like he was before,
You know what
and he
was-
hasn't been putting up numbers.
You know what was the one? It was the one when I went to the Leicester City game, bro.
And you watched
and
him
I
miss a
saw
pen.
him miss his pen.
Yeah, that's when you knew he was off
Okay,
his
Tony,
game.
bad.
let's go to his body of work and let's go to his.
Hold on, just really quickly on the point, yeah?
Yeah.
The reason why I think it's very clear is that bad patch of form stretching over 8 games, since Saka's been in the league, which is a lot longer than
never
Palmer's
done
been
it.
in the league,
2019.
he hasn't done it once.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a time where it's been 8 to 10 games in a row where I thought Saka hasn't done anything for a while now.
Not since he started at right mid
Yeah,
regularly.
he
Of
is.
course, of
He
course.
Even
he's-
at left back, he wasn't putting in these
But-
performances.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like-
Saka's been the second most consistent player in the league after Salah since
Yeah.
he's joined.
Yeah.
Pretty
But-
much, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
behind De Bruyne, but yeah.
But
Oh,
going,
yeah.
No, but going with that, I'm too yet to say Saka's clear because every
is clear,
no,
man, he's
bro,
clear.
bro. I understand.
Okay, I want to go back to your point. No, back to your point. No,
bro,
quickly.
bro,
But,
bro,
I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget about your point.
Forget
Okay,
it.
I'll forget it.
I'm saying I don't want to say that yet because, and it's not. I'm not in a position. I don't want to fight with you and say this one's clear and this
No,
one's.
I wanted to fight with you because he is clear.
No,
He's
bro,
unanimously clear.
bro. I'm saying right now that's the case. And if Palmer continues on this form, he might just be a one season wonder that Chelsea fans will be like, no, he done it for 1 season and a half, and and that might be it. But and if that happens, then it's sad. It will be sad to see. But I think if he can come back stronger, he will be clear because I think he has the highest potential out of the two,
no, absolutely.
out of the 3.
No.
I don't agree with that
Okay,
anymore.
I wanna-
I used to agree with that.
No,
I don't
no,
think
no,
it's
can I
true.
say what-
if
can I
he
say one
continue,
thing, bro?
if he, all it is
No,
consistency.
because Tony,
I still don't agree with
want to
it.
pull you on this point. Yeah.
What?
Okay, just answer this question: is Palmer last season better than Palmer this season? Like, okay, take his best period and take like Palmer last season was better than Palmer this season, right?
Yeah.
And Saka this season is better than Saka last season, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Saka has been improving every year on year out for 4 seasons consecutively. You remember we had this conversation in January. And you're like, oh yeah, I expect our players to grow. Like then, like this is just a small blip. Yeah, you remember you said that now, and you're going back to the same point. You say if he can grow, Saka has shown it that he can compete. Like people were telling 2 years ago, oh he's not world class. He hasn't done a European stage. He did it on the European
but let me
stage.
say-
He did it in the international.
bro,
Wait, let me finish.
bro.
Wait, he did it on the international stage. Saka has got everything that Palmer has got and more. Saka's
Bro, I'm not. But at the same time, Saka did not have the same impact that Palmer did when
yes,
he came into
bro.
the league.
I think you can unanimously see, no, but yeah, because you can't talk about when he came into the league. Because Saka came into the league when he was 17 in a team, yeah,
but no-
where he started playing left back, bro.
Bro, but I'm saying regardless, you have to apply context to it. I'm not saying I agree with you that he's grown, but Saka's performances now wasn't the same when he first.
Okay, how old is Palmer?
started.
Okay, let's do it by age.
21,
What is he? 22.
22.
He's at the same age as.
Like he's like a year younger than Saka.
Yeah.
So take it by age. Saka's been in this. Saka has like when Saka joined, we were shit, right?
Yeah.
Palmer grew up before he came to Chelsea in a Man City team that had won the treble, won the Premier League years on about. He's not like a novice that came from nowhere that had no coaching.
No, but
no, wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
He's been playing in these Pep teams.
course.
He played in the Champions League. He's no bum. Like cool, he didn't come with any expectations. I agree with that.
And he came with no
yes,
experience.
Yes, no, bro, no, that's the thing. He has had experience, bro.
No.
He's played in a Pep team. Whether he didn't have no long spread, but he's played in a
Bro,
Pep
he
team.
literally said Saka's what, a year older than Palmer, and he's got what,
Well,
nearly
like
200
200
Yes,
games
but
on top.
What I'm trying to say to
Over
you,
him.
when you said when they came into the league, I'm trying to say Saka had to build himself up from nothing. He came as a left. He was a right mid, and he came and did a left back role. Then he did a left wing back role. Now he's got his right mid role, and he's the second top 3 right wingers in the world.
No, and that's my point. I'm saying Palmer.
Okay, is Palmer top 3 positions in the world?
Bro,
is he top
bro,
3?
bro.
Is he top 3? Is he top 3 in the world in his position?
Bro, you're talking about a point. I'm trying to come back to it, and then you're switching
No,
it
I
to
want
say,
to answer
is
that
he
question.
the top 3 one
Is
in
it-
the world?
but that's my point. Is he the top 3 player in the world in his position? Yes or no?
No,
Saka is. So what's your point?
bro. I'm not talking. Bro,
I'm trying to say he's clear of
Hold on,
he's
hold
clear
on.
of
Okay, go
Palmer.
back to your point. Go
bro,
back to your point.
Okay, go on.
You're
go
saying stuff. You're not letting me say it, and then you're just saying is he top
Okay,
3.
go on.
I'm saying, of course, top 3 right now is probably Salah, Yamal, and Saka.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I'm saying with Palmer, I'm saying Saka started since he was 17. He had the chance to have indifferent performances. How many seasons did it take for him to score more like double digits and stuff like that, and double digit assists?
Not
and stuff
long
like
though.
that?
When he started playing right mid,
Bro.
not long.
But I'm saying with Palmer, this is his second season playing proper football.
Yeah.
At the age of 22.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't want to bring age into it though. You can't bring age into
no,
this, bro.
No, but I'm saying you can't look at it exactly the same. Everybody's different. So I'm saying for Palmer, this is now his second season.
Yeah.
He's going through a difficult spell. I believe it might be Chelsea bias, but I believe if he can continue and he's like, he might come out in the future and say, yeah, I was going through a madness at the time, this and that. He could come stronger. I think he might be better than Saka. But Saka's got the consistency which Palmer is now. It's a bit techie.
Yeah.
But there's no point in saying Palmer's now dead. Palmer's now this.
Can I just say one thing?
What?
Palmer relies on people to make him look good in the certain games. Saka's never relied on anyone else.
I don't, bro.
Saka's got the wow factor that Palmer doesn't have.
I disagree with that.
Hold on,
I disagree with that.
Really quickly, yeah. In terms of the reason why I don't agree with the ceiling, I used to agree with it. Last season I did. I'm looking at Palmer now and I'm thinking, was your debut season probably going to be the best season that you have in your Premier League career? Which isn't a bad thing, by the way. His debut season was phenomenal.
Wonderful.
It's one of the best ones we've seen in a very, very long time. But I do have that worry for him where I'm like, are you going to get any better than what we've already seen? Which plays against him because anything he shows that isn't better than his debut season, people are going to look at it and be like, so you're not improving then? Which is a bit harsh on him, but it's the reality of it. With Saka, the reason why I see the ceiling being so much higher, not so much higher, it's higher.
Because you didn't start as well.
No, but the reason why I see it higher is just because.
How can you bring it when they started?
Hold on. Before you two start going at each other again, the reason why I see it higher is every season I watch Saka from when he started playing as a right winger. Yeah. First thing, it's like he has a checklist of things he ticks off season after season, right? Yeah. New attributes added to his game. Yeah. Firstly, he added goals. Secondly, he added assists. Thirdly, he's added physicality to his game. He used to be skinny when he came into the league. Now he holds off players very easily.
I think now he's added going inside and outside. He's stronger. His right foot's got a little.
Yeah, he's got a decent weak foot now. And on top of that, this season we've seen him from set pieces too. Every season, I feel like I'm seeing something new from Saka. Obviously, I can't say that about Palmer because he's only been here for a season and a half. Yeah. It's unfair to judge him based on that so far, but I have to go off base of what I've seen. I can't go off potential of, I think this is going to happen, rather than when Saka's shown me a body of work of constant improvement. It's hard for me to ignore that and just be like, I still think Palmer's ceiling's higher. Also, big games are important. I go into a game against Arsenal. I know Saka's a threat. I know he's probably going to leave with something too. I think he's gotten quite a lot of contributions against us over the last few years. Yeah, Palmer, I can't say the same. Bro, when it comes to any Big Six game, I cannot say the same for Palmer.
It's only Tottenham United.
He's not. You know it is. You know when you have a Big Six game.
They're literally fucking bottom of the table.
Yeah, they're no longer Big Six teams. When you come up against Arsenal, any Big Six team comes up against Arsenal, Saka is like red alert. You know, it's like. You got to watch that guy. You have to pin him down as hard as you can. And the reality of it is you can do your best against Saka. He might still get something. I've seen Curtis Jones lock down Palmer's game. You know, I know there's no one in my team that can lock down Saka's game. Yeah, that's the difference I'm seeing with the two.
I feel like to aid Palmer's game. I feel like Palmer needs a proper coach, number one, because Saka, let's be real, improved because of Arteta massively. And as if Palmer gets a move away from Chelsea, or you man get a better man, that's what I say. And cool that you said that he switched his formation or whatever because of that game and stuff. Cool, but as a guy that's meant to be your best player, meant to have all these we have so much expectation of him now due to his first season, which we can put on him. You have to be able to produce, bro. If you want him to be £100 million player, you don't want him to leave the club, and he's got to prove that, bro. You've got to be able to do it in the big games, or when your team's doing shit, you got to drag them out the dirt. Bro, you can't just say.
I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. For Saka done that for us consistently. Cool. We don't even have to say for the past 3 years. For the last 2 seasons, he has single-handedly dragged us out of the dirt in the worst game.
No, but that's my point. I'm saying in 3 seasons, we could be having the same conversation about Palmer.
We can.
And I'm saying it's bro. I can't lie. If you say that's not going to happen,
no, I'm not saying. But
I'm saying it's brazy. Yeah. Because he's shown the. That's what I'm saying. He showed the potential.
I agree with that.
To say everything you're saying about Saka. Yeah. Palmer can do.
But I feel like Saka can reach nearly Salah's levels in the Prem. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
I agree with that, and I don't think. Actually, no. I'll take that back. I was going to say I don't think Palmer could hit that level. I think that's unfair. I agree with you. I think the reason why I'm siding with Saka more is because I have to go off based off what I've seen. Yeah. It's unfair not to. Saka's actually shown me proof that he can improve. Palmer hasn't. But I do agree with you. There is mad potential with Palmer. I just think I agree with him. I said it to him yesterday in the group chat. I think Saka has potential to be the only person in the league that can replace what Salah's doing right now. And Salah's an all-timer, so it shows you.
If we get like a proper striker, and even if you get a striker, I still think Saka gets even more assists just because of his ability to cross the ball.
It shows you what you're dealing with. But you know what it is, I'm glad we opened this up by speaking about those two and comparing the two, because at least I think we all have the same order in terms of, if let's say it was a start, bench, sell. Yeah. I think we're all,
Foden.
As of right now, we're all categorically starting Saka.
Yeah.
As of right now.
Yeah.
Bench, I think we could all categorically say it's Palmer, right? When it comes to sell, we're looking at who last year was apparently the best out of the three. Who got PFA player? He was.
Let's touch on Foden.
Okay, can I just say one thing about the Foden, right? Is, you know how you gave him an excuse of Palmer saying if you had a madness outside of football, all that stuff. If let's say Foden has come out this season at the end of the season and said, I was going through this, I was going through that. Like, I don't think we can write off Foden in terms of, cool, he's shit now, he's finished. Because let's be real, it's the first season he's had an off season for a long time.
I think we can.
No.
Because you know what it is, with him, when he was a bench player for City and he was getting his minutes here and there, cool, obviously a lot of players need consistency in order to play at their best. But when he was a bench player, he wasn't showing me anything near what I think Saka and Palmer can do when they're coming off the bench.
When Foden was starting to get into that City team, all he showed was tech. I just looked at him and I thought, he is one of the most technical players.
You're great on the ball.
But I can't
great on the half turn.
But when you come into football at a young age, if you have that, you can build everything else around you. As you were saying about Saka, he's developed things that you don't need at a young age, that you develop with a coach.
I agree.
What Foden has out of them three, he's naturally gifted. He is technically, he's the most gifted out of them three. Everything else he could bring to his game. We've seen certain things come to his game. We're still waiting for some things to come to his game. We're still waiting for him to look down a position. I agree, right?
Yeah.
But let's say next season he has the same stinker, cool. But let's be real, this whole Man City team has stunk this year. It's not an excuse for to allow him to have shit performances, but I think it's a weak excuse to say, he's finished now. Purely because you don't lose that technical ability he has.
I agree with that.
I also think if he gets a move away from Man City, it could benefit him a lot.
I think he needs a change.
Just really quickly though, because I think that's unfair to say. Foden has probably had the biggest privilege out of the three of them, in my opinion. He's grown up in City's team, same as Palmer, but he's actually been personally nurtured by Pep. Like, Pep has brought him in the right way someone should bring in a youngster, where they manage their minute, trying to make sure he's not getting injured, always trying to figure out what his best position is. It feels like Pep was sort of babying him throughout his career. Saka didn't get that. Like you said, Saka had to drag his team out of the mud from when he was young. Palmer didn't get that. He got shipped. He didn't really get a chance, a looking really at City.
To get Chelsea out
and
he
got and then he got dashed to Chelsea, who were 12th the season before, wherever they were. I feel like Foden has had the biggest privilege, and then also you said City might be the problem. He might need to leave City. We've seen him all play for England. I've seen Palmer score a goal. Hold on. No, because we have to speak about it. Palmer scored a goal in a Euros final, and every single time Palmer has come on for England, he's looked amazing. Saka has had England Player of the Years, right? Foden, every single time this guy has come on the pitch for the last couple of years now, even when he was playing well last season, when he came on in the Euros, and when he, let's face it, Southgate basically catered the system around him. They made sure Bellingham was playing as an 8 to make sure Foden could play as a 10, because and it was deserved. Obviously, he was PFA Player of the Year in the Premier League. We thought he'd play. I thought he'd play well as a 10, but we saw it didn't work out for him. But you can't sit there and tell me you can't bring up England, because firstly, international football is easier, in my opinion. I think all of you will agree. Secondly, the team catered around him. They put him in what we think is his best position. He still didn't thrive. And it's not even not thriving. He's a ghost when he plays for England. It feels like nothing happens when he's on the pitch. Every time he comes off, it feels like we get better as well. I don't know who he. I think it was the game against Slovenia. Who did we play in the semi-finals? Slovakia. When Jude scored the basketball kick.
Oh yeah.
That goal happened
as soon as
quarterfinals. That goal happened as soon as Foden came off the pitch, and it obviously that's coincidence, right?
It's a corner. You can't really do anything.
No, that's coincidence. I understand that, but I'm using that as an example of every time he comes off the pitch for England, it feels like they get better. And just separate. This isn't even to do with the debate in terms of PFA Player of the Years. This is probably the biggest fall off I've seen of one for the season after. Foden was so good last season. I'm not going to discredit him on that. But when it comes to having that much of a peak season and then the fall off after, I don't think I've seen that in ever.
You know what it is? If you say to me, who would I rather want, Palmer or Foden in my team? I'm choosing Foden.
No, you're not. You're not.
For what I need in Arsenal, I want Foden.
Why? Why would you pick Foden over?
Why do you think he's way better
over Palmer?
You know what it is? because Palmer just floats too much to the right. Number one, but like number two, we need a technically I feel like we're writing off Foden too early. Cool, as of right now, he stinks, and I agree. Like, he's not even getting to the City team. You're putting Grealish in a 10 ahead of him. You're putting Savinho. You're getting Marmoush, who's pretty much going to take his role. We don't know how they're going to line up next season, any of that. Cool, I agree. But what he's shown me in the past 5 years, I can't just forget now because he's had one bad season.
I don't think he showed me much. He had a really good Champions League campaign.
At the end of last season, he was pretty much top of everyone's list for start-sub-sell. Yes.
Yeah, but that was based off that season. No, if you were to ask me based off their entire careers, I wouldn't have put him top of the
even
list.
In their Champions League winning campaign, he was there.
Yeah, he was great. He's the only one out of the three who bagged the top bins goal outside the box in the Bernabeu. But
he's going over consistency.
Bro, I'm trying to say
Saka's been way more consistent.
No, in time. But if you
even from last season.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to say. But I'm trying to say you can't. I don't think you can dead him off after one bad season.
Yeah.
When he's had five. Averagely, they've all been good with about 2 brilliant ones inside of it. Yeah. I don't think you can bin off a guy who's still 25, 24.
Something like that. He is quite considerably older than the other two, though.
But I think the best way to put it is that we were thinking, especially with last season, that Foden's going to be the best in the world.
No, but I'm trying to say you're allowed one off season. But it's not the end of the world if you have one off season.
But this is more than just an off season.
It's not, bro. It's not.
This is bad. This is really bad.
It's not,
bro. This is.
I can't. Okay.
It's bad. It's bad in terms of if you look at it.
It's bad in terms of every Premier League player. It's bad. It's a bad season.
No, but I'm trying to say if it was you know what would make it worse? If Man City were doing good but he was doing bad, then I'd understand. But when a whole club is doing badly in every position in that field, not one person.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Just really quickly. Wait. I need to say this. I need to say this.
I got an example.
I need to say this.
When everyone's playing bad, and not one player is playing good in that team, not one player, and you're singly saying, he has to be good in a whole team of badness, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, why does that not make sense? Because we've seen Palmer do it for Chelsea when everyone was horrible when Palmer first came in. He had the best season. And we've seen Saka do it for how many years?
But that's the opposite.
I got a big example. Sandeep, I'm helping your point. I'm saying I got a big example from Chelsea. Remember when we won the league, legit, with Jose Mourinho?
Yeah.
Then finished 10th the next season.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean Diego Costa, Hazard, all of these men were dead. Hazard got 4 goals, 3 assists.
Yeah.
Willian was our best player in that squad with Fabregas, etc.
I agree with that, but I'm not saying he's going to be a bad player. I'm not deading him off in terms of his whole future. I think he's going to be horrible. Yeah. I still don't think he's going to be that good though.
He is,
but I just don't think he's going to be as good as Palmer and Saka. In terms of who I think has had the best peak season, obviously Foden got PFA Player of the Year last year. I think individually though, I think Palmer had a better season than him. I think he still deserved PFA because he won the league. Obviously that adds on to it. So I think I think Palmer's had the best season. I think Saka's got the best consistency.
Yeah.
I don't think Foden has either of them.
Foden was the best player last season.
No. I think player for player, I think Palmer was the best player last season out of the three of them.
No, he wasn't.
I think he was.
Palmer's just got nicer stats. That's it. But as a player, Foden was way clear of Saka. Foden Palmer last season.
Palmer wasn't just a statsman last season.
Palmer
was doing everything.
Way clear as a stretch, man. I swear down. Way clear as a
last
stretch.
Season, Foden was clearly the best player in the league by a country mile.
No, it wasn't a country mile.
I don't even think he was clearly the best player in the league. I don't think he was clearly the best player on his team last season.
Who was then?
He wasn't clearly. I think he was the best player on his team last season.
Without Foden, they weren't ticking last season.
It was between him and Rodri.
Without Foden, they weren't ticking last season.
I know. Let's leave it.
Okay, cool. Let's wrap it up.
Because we'll start arguing again.
Yeah.
But a country